Hi friends, welcome back to Farm Girl Diaries. My name is Caitlin, and it is a Sunday in December. And I am typically not someone that knows how to relax. I don't like to relax, but I do allow myself the Sundays in December before Christmas to just really relax and enjoy my Christmas decorations. I love my Christmas decor. I put up a ton of it, and so I really like to take the time to enjoy it. So on top of Sundays being a typical relaxing day for me, today is supposed to be a they're calling it an impact day, snow and rain. I don't think they're calling for it to be a measurable amount of snow at all, but it's still going to be a lucky day that I don't want to go outside. So we're going to have a really nice, relaxing day that I thought I'd bring you guys along for. So to get started, I want to make some dinner in the crock pot so I don't have to even cook today. And I just saw this recipe on Becky at Acre Homestead. So I'm going to follow her recipe, but I'm going to deviate from it just slightly, and I'll explain why in a second. But the dish we're going to be making is going to be making a crock pot sausage pasta soup. So I'm doing the entire dish, except I just looked in my freezer to pull out my peppers. I found a bag of gnocchi. And so I think I would like gnocchi in this instead of a traditional pasta. So that's going to be the difference. And I think it's also going to make it a lot more filling too. So to get started, and again, this recipe comes from Becky at Acre Homestead. This is not my recipe. I always love going to her for inspiration. She always has just such unique ideas. Like, whoever thought of making a sausage and pepper soup? I mean, at least I didn't. So I think this is going to be really, really good. And especially on such an ugly day, it's going to be awesome. So in addition to this, we are also going to be making, I didn't put that on the stove. We are also going to be making butterscotch haystack cookies and what was it? Cherry cheesecake cupcakes. So I just want to make sure I enjoy today. I've been crocheting the viral star blanket, so I want to keep working on that today. I want to make sure I take some time to read today. And then we have two Christmas movies we're going to watch today. We're going to watch Santa Baby 2, because I really like that movie. And then I think I decided the second one is going to be National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So that is what my entire day looks like today. I'm not even doing any chores. My house does need vacuumed. I could probably give my bathroom a nice wash. But we're not doing that today. We can do that any other day of the week. On Sundays, we are relaxing and enjoying our Christmas decorations. And then come January, this relaxing Sunday will largely go away. So I've just lined the bottom of my crock pot with the sausages. I added in an onion. I have some very freezer burnt peppers. I'm just going to add them. These are from 2 summers ago, so they definitely need to be used. Okay, let me move my onions out of the way. I want to make sure I salt and pepper my onions and everything. I'm going to add in a little bit of garlic powder. And then I'm going to do a jar. Now this is a jar of spaghetti sauce, but you could do a jar of marinara. I always smell my jars when I open them. It's just kind of habit. I don't actually like red sauce at all. So when I make my red sauce, I actually make it a little bit spicy. So my red sauce is red sauce for everything. So now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put this on my crock pot, or in my crock pot, and we're going to put it on high. And then once it's done, we can put it on low until dinner time. Okay, so that is project number 1 down. That's going to be a delicious dinner. So next we're going to do our butterscotch haystack cookies. So these are something that my grandmother made all the time. And once she passed away, I didn't have them for probably 20. My grandmother died in 96. And I had them for the first time last year. So it's it was 2023. So almost 30 years I didn't have these cookies, and I didn't know how to make them. I didn't know where to find the noodles you needed. So we figured it out last year, and I think we way overcomplicated it, or I way overcomplicated it for years. But it's super, super easy. So the base of the cookie is these chow mein noodles. You can find these in the Asian section of your grocery store. They're an Asian noodle. And then the only other ingredient you need is butterscotch. So I have a double boiler going on the stove. I am going to get the butterscotch melted, and then we just toss it with the chow mein noodles. So I'm going to start with 1 and 1 bag of butterscotch, 1 can of chow mein. I have 2 of each. So that's going to be our plan there. And then I have my cream cheese sitting out, and I'm letting my cream cheese come to room temperature. So we're going to take a break in between this cooking so I can go read my book and crochet a little bit. But my cream cheese needs to come to room temperature. So I typically do 2 blocks of cream cheese for my cheesecakes, but I have half a block left over, so I want to use this, and I think 2.5 blocks is going to be too much. So we're just going to do 1.5 blocks of cream cheese I have coming to room temperature. And for that, we are going to use our cherry pie filling. We did this together this summer. This was the very first time doing cherry pie filling. And I knew I wanted to do this because I knew every single Christmas I make my cherry cheesecake cupcakes. So I feel really good about having our own cherry pie filling for this. Now, not my own cherries. I bought these cherries. But I bought them from a gardener, and they were expensive, but they were worth it. So let's get my water is boiling, so let's go ahead and get the butterscotch into the water and get this butterscotch melted. I thought I had too much water in it, so I put it out. Okay. I thought I had too much water in it, and I was like, well, I'll just measure, and if it gets to be, like, as I go to put the pot in, if it gets to be too much, then I'll just dump out some water. And then I forgot that the steam burns. So let's move this, because I just put that out, and I want to make sure that that has time to dry before we try to light that again. And I moved this. Now let's get back to it. I've been adding some avocado oil to it to make it runnier because it's just not getting runny. I think you could probably add butter, but I'm doing avocado instead of olive oil because avocado has a much more milder flavor. I don't really want to take away from the taste of the butterscotch. Okay. I want to get it melted and as runny as you can. Okay. I think we're probably pretty good. Let's go ahead and add in our noodles. I'm going to add them right into the hot bowl. I think I need multiple things. And don't be afraid to break them because you're going to kind of pile them up together. I'm going to get them all coated. And that is it. So let's go dump these out onto a piece of parchment paper. And these are so yummy just by themselves and so easy. But you could also do these, oopsie, a little one though. You could add pretzels into here, like stick pretzels. You could add chocolate. Could drizzle some melted chocolate over these when they're done. You can really kind of play these up. You would add marshmallow fluff in with the butterscotch to make like butterscotchy and marshmallowy. You really kind of can really personalize these any way you want. And we just want to put them in these little haystacks. And I know you can do this at Easter. My girlfriend was just telling me. You can do these and make like Easter nests and then put those candies, like those candy Easter eggs inside. That'd be fun too. But this is something that is easy and simple but delicious, and you can personalize it any way you want. And I think one bag and one container is going to be perfect. Oops, let's try one. This one fell. Let's try it. That's good. Oh my god, it's just, and it's so simple. It's so simple. But I think we need to get another cookie rack. But don't those look delicious? Two things done so far this morning. We got our dinner in the crock pot, and then we got these cookies done. I'm going to go sit down. My book is calling me, so we're going to sit down for a little bit and read and just relax, and we'll be back in a little bit to make our cream cheese, I forget what they're called today, cherry cream cheese cupcakes. So I'll see you guys back in a couple of hours. It's been about an hour and a half maybe since we made these. I read a couple chapters of my book. I had a quick lunch. So now we're back to do our cherry cheesecake cupcakes. But first I want to get all of my butterscotch haystacks onto my cake plate. I wanted a cake plate for years, and I always want to put like cakes in it, but I don't eat a lot of cake. I live alone, so if I made a cake, I would have to eat the whole cake. So I don't eat a lot of cake. I don't make a lot of cakes. But I still think it's really fun to keep this filled. So I typically try to keep this filled, and then when anyone comes over, they know to go to the cake plate and see what kind of dessert we have going on. So this week's dessert on the cake plate is butterscotch haystacks. Unfortunately, we had some pieces fall off, so we have to eat them ourselves. It's so good. Okay, this is one of the easiest desserts to make, and it's one of my favorite ways to eat cheesecake. So these are cheesecake cupcakes. They take less than 5 minutes to put together. And with typical cheesecakes, you could bake them with specific, like, a lot of times you can put them in like a water bath. And then you have to be mindful about making sure the whole thing gets baked evenly, but not over baked. And then when you're cooling it, you want to make sure it doesn't crack. These don't have those rules, and they're just super, super easy and super, super delicious. So I have the oven preheated to 375. And I'm just going to line my muffin tins with my papers. And then in the bottom, you can choose what the base you want to be. I'm very traditional and very bland. I like to do just vanilla wafers. But you can do any type of cookie. You could do a graham cracker crust. You could do, I almost thought about, I'm not going to because I don't like it stuff that sweet. But you could buy those, actually I have some. I like them on their own. These cookies, and put these cookies as the underneath of it. You could put a chocolate chip cookie. You could do whatever you wanted to do for these cookies. Or, for these cupcakes. So I'm going to start there. I think I'm probably going to get that much filling. And then I just have whatever you're using, put in the bottom of the tin. I don't have a big kitchen. And it doesn't help that my cookie sheets are taking up the counter that I would otherwise use. And we're going to get our cream cheese that we have had sitting out for approximately about 2.5 hours. And we're going to get this blended so this is nice and smooth before we add our few ingredients. We're going to add 2 eggs. Quarter cup of vanilla is called for 1, or a quarter cup of sugar is called for 1 block of cream cheese. So I have 1 1/2. So I'm going to add just a smidgen more. And then a tablespoon of vanilla. That is all the ingredients. Super easy. Now let's just go ahead and get this into our muffin liners. And this will rise a bit, just a little bit, not a ton. So you don't want to go the whole way up, and then you want to make sure you leave room in your muffin tin for your pie filling. In this case, we're going to use cherry pie filling. Now, I was hoping I was going to get a double batch of those cheesecakes, but I did not. So 1 1/2 blocks, so 12 ounces of cream cheese gives you 12 muffins. So that's okay. We're going to make these again. My pint of cherry pie filling, I'll definitely have some left over from this first batch. So I'll just put those cookies away until next time. And I'll put these muffin tins aside for these muffins, these cupcakes. I'll probably make them in less than a week. We're in the official less than 2 weeks till Christmas. So I am cooking and baking quite often from here until Christmas. But while that is in the oven for 10 minutes, I have some beaters that I get to enjoy. So I'll bring you guys back when they come out of the oven. Let's see if these are done. They look really good. They're not browning yet, but they're cracking, so I think they're done. So let's go over and test them with a toothpick. Nope, they're not done. They're still coming up wet. So I'm actually going to go ahead and we're going to put these back in for a couple more minutes. So total, these were actually in for about 20 minutes. They took longer, but I think my oven is off too. So they took about 20 minutes at 375. I have a rack out. I'm going to try to go ahead and get these out of the hot cupcake pan so they can start cooling. And then once they're cool, I'll add the cherry pie filling. But don't they look delicious? These are so good. I'm so excited. Oopsie, burnt myself and almost messed that up. So you want to be careful because these are hot. These do need to cool to fully set. I put the cherry pie filling on the cheesecake cupcakes. Don't they look absolutely delicious? And so I only used about half a pint of that cherry cheesecake or that cherry pie filling. So we have a whole nother half a pint that'll be used for the second round of these that we make. And then I also got these out of the fridge, so I decided to cook these up. And I think this one wants to be eaten right now. Okay, it is time to get this dinner together. So let me show you. It's really cooked down, and the sausage is all fall apart. I was gonna get the sausage out and kind of cut it, but it's so tender that I'm just using my tongs to just kind of break it up. I have a pot of water on the stove now for the gnocchi. But if you don't want to use the gnocchi, if you feel like that's too heavy, then you can just use regular pasta. And I am afraid that's going to be too heavy. So I'll be completely honest, I am afraid that's going to be really heavy. This sauce with an, oops, that's hot. It's really hot. With the gnocchi is not light. But it is a very cold day. I've been wearing this poncho for a good chunk of the day just because I'm so cold and it's like I'm wearing a blanket. So I'm here for it. So I think like because it's so cold and it's like sleeting outside. We didn't get the snow that they promised, but it's sleeting. So that's lovely. I just thought even if this is heavy, this will still be a really delicious meal. I do wish I had a side salad to go along with it. I just kind of broke up all that sausage. So now the recipe calls for half a cup of heavy cream. I don't have heavy cream, I have milk. So we're just gonna do half a cup of milk or like a nice dash of milk, and then we're gonna add a lot of Parmesan cheese into this to really give it some really nice flavor. So I buy my Parmesan cheese from Sam's Club, and it is a blend of Parmesan, Asiago, and Reggiano. Parmesan, Asiago, and Romano. Something like that. It is a fantastic blend. I buy it in bulk, and then I put it in the freezer. And cheese freezes really well, or at least this cheese freezes really well. Okay, so we've colored our, oops, returning. We've colored our soup. It's kind of like a nice like vodka looking sauce. Nice light pink. I love adding cream to red sauce. Just like mellows out the flavor so much that I think it's really good. Okay, so I have this on warm. Oops, I'm out of spoons. I've used a lot of spoons today. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give this, just the sauce, a taste. See if we need to add anything to it, like salt, pepper, maybe some spices. Oh my. That's good. That's good. That is good. I am going to add just a sprinkling of salt. I think salt will help bring everything out even a little bit more, but that is really, really good. So now I'm just going to wait for my gnocchi to cook, and then we'll get that served up. It is going to be delicious. The gnocchi cooked so fast. It's only been about 2 or 3 minutes since we left, but I have my gnocchi cooked. I'm gonna add them in there, and then put that to the side. I'll use that. I'll use that bowl to ladle it up, but come look how good that is going to be. I think it's gonna be so, so comforting on a cold, cold day. Now my gnocchi didn't go far, so I might need to add pasta in here at a later date. But for now, I think this is going to be delicious. My gnocchi really didn't go far. That's okay. I think it's going to be delicious. So I'm just going to let this continue to cook. Let that gnocchi get nice and kind of soak up all of that marinara sauce. I have it on warm, but then we will just start ladling this up. Let me take a bite of everything. Get a little gnocchi. A little bit of sausage. So let's take a bite of everything and try this, because I'm not going to eat this right this second, but it's going to be ready whenever I'm ready for dinner. I just had the crock pot on warm, so it's just going to stay nice and warm, but I want to give this a try. It's hot. Oh my god. I don't even get the first bite in, but I'm overwhelmed by the flavor of the broth. Now the broth is basically just spaghetti sauce, my really good spaghetti sauce, but you have all the juices of the sausage that cooked in it. You have the peppers and the onions that cooked in it. with these third juices. We added that milk. We added Parmesan cheese. So it's a little bit more than just spaghetti sauce. I'm not eating just spaghetti sauce, but by golly, it tastes delicious. I have some condensation from the lid here. It tastes absolutely delicious. So I highly recommend you guys give this meal a shot one time. And we gotta thank Becky for coming up with this idea. So I'll let you guys go. We had a great relaxing day. Now that I'm in the kitchen again, I'm really hot, so I kind of want to go take my poncho blanket off. But we're gonna enjoy the rest of our evening. We have one more Christmas movie to watch, and we're gonna wrap up our Sundays. This has been a fantastic Sunday. Just been nice and relaxing, and I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it immensely. So I'll see you guys back on the next video. Bye, friends.